or a whistleblower disclosure. So I just want to say that if you've come in from the picker cards or the true crime readings, then this probably isn't for you. So you know, if you're very open-minded, then yeah, check it out. Otherwise, welcome to all of my regular open-minded people that likes to delve in and have a look at things a bit unusual and mysterious, and yeah, ask all the questions. So let's get into the reading. Okay, so we're reading today on, I've been given the name of, let me see, David Grusch, I think his name is. He is an ex-Air Force veteran and a member of the, let me see here, the Geospatial-Intelligence Agency. So he's a whistleblower that's come forward with some information about crashed spacecraft that we have in the military. I'm speaking about American military here, so that the retrieved spacecraft and UFOs or aliens. So I will put some links to the videos from newsnation, the interview that was done on newsnation, and we're just going to have a little look into David Grusch here, and we're going to ask some questions on him. And first of all, before I get out the weird cards, the cards that look into, when we do look into disclosure and the alien stuff, we're going to have a look with the weird cards and have a look at that. But first of all, I just want to do a little quick reading on David Grusch, please. Just basically getting a picture of his integrity and truthfulness in what he's saying. So first of all, I'm asking the cards, just checking in with the cards, please. We're looking at David Grusch, and he's a whistleblower from the military, reporting information about crashed UFOs or retrieved UFOs. I just wanted to know what his integrity is, please, and if he's being truthful and honest in what the claims are that he's making. Okay, so a lot of cards come out then. Okay, I've got a new format that I'm using as well. You can see that I'm trying out a new format, so there is a couple of little technical issues with that, but I wanted to be able to sort this out and bring you better viewing so you can actually see the cards as they're coming out. Okay, so we're looking at David Grusch here. Okay, so he is controlled a little bit. We've got the control card. So it's saying that he is controlled a little bit, I guess, in what he can fully say. I don't know if he's come out with everything, but I feel like maybe he's still, I don't want to say a puppet, but I want to say perhaps it's like maybe a controlled release, even a controlled narrative. Like it's he's saying what he's allowed to say is what I'm getting there with that control part. Okay, so I'm also getting here in the cards the big picture. So again, just one more card to pop out, or one. We're talking about David Grusch, please. We're just looking at his integrity and if he's being truthful with the information that's coming out about disclosure, please. If that is truthful information. Okay, let me have a look here at what we've got. Okay. Okay, David Grusch. Okay, what I'm getting here, first of all, is the big picture card, and it's saying it's looking at spaceship. So this is a card here. I'll show it even closer. You can see looking in the distant horizon about ships coming in. So yes, that is what he's speaking about. Now, below that, we've got the card of suspect motive. So it's saying that he either has motives in what he's doing, there's a motive behind what he's doing, or we still need to be a little bit suspect about some of the things that he's saying. I do feel, again, we've got the control card in this spread, so I do feel like there's like controlled, a level of control about what he can say and what he is saying. So it's like what he's saying, he's allowed to say, and there's a level of control about how much he can actually say. So while he is releasing information, I don't feel like he's releasing everything. I don't feel like he's saying everything. Now, I've got the swift outcome here as well, and I feel like, okay, right next to the card of flow with ease. So in one case, it's saying information's flowing through we've had a gentle release of information on the UFO disclosure. So it's been a gentle release of information, but it's saying now they're going to come thick and fast. So next to that is a swift outcome. So it's like it's a where it has been a gentle release. I feel like we're going to start getting, which is exciting news, we're going to start getting some more things coming through. Thick and fast is what they're saying. It's like they're letting go of something here, either letting go of the control or letting go of the reins on this whole topic, or letting it out. So it's releasing it. That's what they're doing. They're releasing it. So the card of letting go here, down in the corner here, you can see is things are being released. So they're releasing, and that's right next to the card of the swift outcome, being things are going to happen fast. We're going to start to get things released a lot quicker. There's a lot more being released is what I'm getting. So yes, I feel like he's a big key player, like back in the 80s, and I've forgotten the name of the one that came out about Area 51. I should know that name, but he came out and he was like one of the first whistleblowers about the information, and then he went into hiding. So I feel like this is a very relevant one for our times right now, and I feel like it's going to open the door for other things to come out. But again, I feel like there's a level of control still here. It's like it's almost getting that someone higher up is saying that, yes, we want these couple of things released, and we want these things released for a certain reason. We don't know what those reasons are, but there's a reason why the higher ups are letting this information out. And I feel like he's like almost a puppet. I don't want to call him a puppet because he's had such a prestige career, but I've got the puppet card. So that's what I'm reading, saying that he is just like the puppet for the disclosure is what I'm getting with that. Okay, so yeah, I'm not seeing anywhere here that there is like lies. I'm not getting lies to this what he's saying, but I am getting that he is like perhaps he's holding back, and he's saying what he's being told to say or what he's allowed to say. But I feel like there is a level of holding back or suspect motive. So there's motives behind, and I'm not saying that it's David's motives, but there's motives behind why this information is coming out at this time. So that's what I'm picking up with that one there. Okay, so that was just having a look into the integrity of him and the information that's being released. So now let's have a look at the Our Weird Wednesday cards and see what they've got to say. Now, he goes very deeply. I watched some of his interviews, and I tell you, I really love all the different dimensions and the scientific, paranormal, or the quantum physics and stuff. I'm really interested in all that stuff. I do enjoy looking at that stuff, and I might have been tired when I was watching the videos, but I feel like some of the things he's saying were like I couldn't grasp it. I couldn't get my head around it, but I might have been tired when I was watching it, and I'll probably have to watch it again to get a better idea. So first of all, he was talking about things that are like quantum mechanics or quantum physics to do with aliens. So let me just see if there's a connection there based on what it is that military whistleblower David Grusch has said about not the paranormal, the quantum physics side of aliens. Is there any connection there, please? Or is there any truth in what he's saying there? Okay, let's have a look. I love these cards, are so bright. Okay, so what I'm getting here, let me just go onto the bigger screen so you can have a better view of this. Okay, so what I've asked here is David Grusch's claims about the quantum mechanics of aliens. Perhaps they're from a different dimension. rather than different planet. And I've just asked the cards how they feel about that. Now I've got drawn to the card here where it says hidden, it's locked at this time. So I feel like while discloses one thing about beings coming from other planets, I feel like people are not ready to hear the information on the quantum side of it, so like the physics side of it. I feel like that will just baffle people and they'll just switch off. So I feel like that's what's going here with this card here. It says it's hidden, it's locked at this time. So where I've just jumped straight in and asked the question on the quantum physics side of what he's saying, it's saying, yeah, up here it's like a level up. So it's like an ascension or a leveling up. So that information is like a whole nother level, and I just don't think people are ready for that information yet. So that is locked and hidden at this time is what it said. It says hidden and locked at this time. So I feel like this is a communication card over here, and like he's communicating those things to us and he's given that message. So this is the card of giving a message. So he's communicating about disclosure and the aliens and giving the message, but I feel like giving that information about the quantum physics side of it, it's going to make some people switch off and not really understand it. Here we've got the heart or the emotional feeling. So while he might be connected to that, not everybody else is connected to that kind of information. And here it's the wisdom. So yes, you have to be like, this is information coming from a high guide in my cards, but I also feel like you've got to have a level of wisdom or intelligence to actually understand all that stuff. And it feels like they might want disclosure at this time, but I think putting the two together is, I'm not quite sure if that's the way to go. But what the cards are saying here is that it's on a whole nother level. So it's like a level that's locked at this time. People are not open to hear that message at the moment. So this is the message that he's communicating. So you can see here this is the message that he is communicating at this time, that it's a whole different level up. So the whole alien agenda thing is a whole different level. It could go into all kinds of things, time travel, different dimensions, string theory, all of that kind of stuff. And I feel like that's at a whole nother level to just normal alien disclosure that we're all interested in. And that's why it's locked at this time. So the way he's giving the message and communicating the message, I feel like people's brains are just not open to that. It's on a whole different level to that information. So I feel like, it needs a different level of wisdom to be able to understand that. But I feel like, the connection between the two, while he is coming forward as the whistleblower, I'm not sure how many people are going to be open to hear his message based on these cards. Okay, so let's ask another question. Let's not jump straight into the hard stuff. Let's just ask about alien disclosure, please. Are we going to be looking at getting a lot more alien disclosure? So in the last reading, the last spread, not this one, the one before, it said that we've had a gentle trickle going with the flow of UFO disclosure, and then it's going to start coming in a lot swifter. So we're going to get more of a swifter approach of the information that's going to come through. That's what I'm going to ask the cards here now. So there is a goal behind that. There is intention. So this is a card of intention and goals. So there is a clear intention and goals to the way that it has been released in the public at a slow and steady trickle, and now it's going to come in much quicker. Like, we're going to get a lot more information coming through, maybe open the door for other whistleblowers or other people to come forward. So let's just see what the cards have to say to that. Are we going to get alien disclosure, please? Are we going to start getting more alien disclosure, please? Okay, so this is a card of toxicity. And it's saying avoid the situation. So it's still a topic that people avoid. Let's put that there. So it is still a topic that people. Okay, so here we've got the card of toxicity. So it's saying that avoid the situation. So it's saying that alien disclosure is still a topic that people avoid. So I'm talking about the whistleblower, well, not the whistleblowers, but the people in these programs and these hidden programs and that know this kind of information. It's still a topic that they need to avoid. It's still considered something that you don't talk about. Okay, we're getting gratitude. I guess they're grateful for their jobs. They're grateful to be in those programs. Here we go, and the communication card right next to that. So these people that are in these programs, they're not the whistleblowers, but they're the people that know about these things that are going on. They have gratitude for their jobs, and they want to keep their jobs, so they're not going to go and communicate all the secrets, because this is a card here of the communication and the throat chakra. So they're not going to go and start giving out secrets, because I did say, is this new, like we've had the gentle disclosure, like a slow release of information that's going to start coming in a lot more, might open the door for other whistleblowers. Then the cards in answer to that have said that they love their jobs and they don't want to jeopardize their jobs by releasing secrets or communicating information. So I don't think it's going to bring forward a lot of more whistleblowers. I'm also picking up that I'm feeling like they could be making a bit of a mockery of David Grusch. They almost might make an example out of him too, like they did in the 80s with the Area 51 guy that came out. He was mocked for sure. But I feel like, I want to say we're ready for it. The way he's coming out about it, we're not ready for that. And I feel like that is what's going to make it so. And this is the download card. And it's called the download card. It says tap into the stream. So where we're talking about the slow, steady trickle of information come out, there is a stream of information that will come out that's going to be released, but you have to be tapped in to get it. And by that, I don't think I mean tapped in energetically or spiritually. I think you need to be just tapped into, what people on the internet talk about these things, being on the right channels, on the right platforms to get the information, because obviously it's not going to be on mainstream TV, although the News Nation interview was a mainstream interview. I feel like, I don't feel like it's going to be yet still a mainstream thing. So you've got to kind of tap into that stream, and you've got to know what channels and what platforms are going to give that information. So here is the third dimension, the grounding. So this is a card of the earth, our 3D level, our everyday kind of level. We're still very, where David Grusch is talking about different dimensions and quantum physics, I feel like we're all still very much in the 3D earth. So we're still, you've got it, the information, like the information stream that we're tapping into, or the information that's being released about disclosure still has to be on a very 3D level for people to understand it, is what I'm getting there. So still the topic is still toxic. It's still taboo. It's still kind of made a mockery of by a lot of platforms or people, or it's still not an open topic yet. So I feel like, it's not, people are not going to jeopardize their job to come forward as whistleblowers to release the information. That's not happening yet, but we are going to start getting more information. But you have to be tapped into the right channels or the right platforms to actually receive that information, because it's just going to be hidden. It's just hidden. It's like hidden, not public. So not everybody's seeing it. That's what I'm saying. It's not like the sheep or the everyday people that are not awake and aware. They're not really tapping into this information, but it is available. There is more new stuff that's going to be released that will, but it's not like a mainstream thing. Okay, and I just want to ask the cards, is there anything else that they want to say on this topic of UFO disclosure? Please. We're talking on UFO disclosure. Is there anything else, cards, that you want to talk about on UFO disclosure? Going to read with a different deck as well. Okay, so what the cards want to talk about finally on this topic of alien disclosure is that it's still like a lucid, altered state. So it's still in a state of, it's not out there mainstream. I'm wondering if that's also to do with where David Grusch talks about the different dimensions. So maybe it's still hidden from us. So like in a different state. So it's in a different, so that's full on. And I think people start switching off when you start talking like that. And I think that's what's going to happen with the disclosure, David Grusch's disclosure. People aren't going to quite understand what it is he's saying because it's like in a different, almost like a different dimension. And again, I'm getting the card next to it, the reflection card, is showing the two different dimensions or showing two different states of being. This one here says altered states. This one's showing two different states. So it's like, and this one's, it's a reassessment, a different way of thinking. So this is the way we currently think about aliens and UFOs and disclosure. I feel like they are, is causing some kind of, forcing us to reassess how we think about aliens, where they've come from, what are aliens, what are UFOs. And I feel like there is a level of, and I feel like as they're releasing more and more of this information, people are going to start questioning, not are we alone, but what are UFOs and what are aliens. Like, I feel like there's a whole level deeper, a whole different altered state of being with these. It's like I'm here seeing the reflection, like a clearer perspective. So we're going to start seeing a clearer picture or a clearer perspective of these states or these what they really are, and reassessing different ways of thinking about them. So it's not going to be just, they come from Mars, or I'm not saying they come from Mars, but you know what I mean? Like in the old days, it was like alien attack from Mars back in the 40s and the 50s. And it's like we are growing and developing in the way we think about them as our consciousness expands and our ways of thinking expand. And that's what I'm picking up from the cards. It's saying it's a different way of thinking. In the future, the release about the UFOs and the aliens is going to force us to open our eyes a little bit more, have a clearer perspective of really how the world is made, what the world really is. And when I say world, I don't mean the physical world, I mean existence. What really existence is, what it's made up of. Really, it's going to force us to think differently about it, and therefore that will force us to think differently about other civilizations. Okay, just had a little freak out then talking about all this stuff. There's some kind of like alarm going off near me, like a countdown and an alarm. I'm not sure what that was, but it just freaked me out anyway. But it was saying is that there is an abundance coming from the universe. There's an abundance in the universe. Perhaps it's abundance of civilizations, many options around here. So like there's many around us, many options. And this is what the card's saying, finally, what's going on. And it's saying about being seen. So it's about, this card is about being seen, knowing where to look to find out this information, about getting this clearer picture, this new understanding, changing the way we think, changing the way we see the current topic, and about being seen. So the information being seen. So that's coming up in the future. That's showing that just how much the abundance of life forms in this universe, the many options that are going to be seen. So that's coming up in the future. But once we adjust and get a clearer perspective of what the topic is, and then have it and think about it in a different perspective. Okay, that's just what the cards are saying. That's what they want to talk about on this topic. So I will see you next week for your Weird Wednesday read.